Yes. Okay. When was the last time you thought about your retirement? I started thinking about my retirement a couple years ago when I turned 30. And like most Americans, I assume that Social Security will supplement my retirement. But what if Social Security doesn't exist when you retire? In according to the OASDI Trustees Committee, by the year 2018, the Social Security Fund will be exhausted. Your retirement is at risk. Congress is stealing from it, and we desperately need a plan. But before I tell you how this happened, first you need to understand when and how Social Security started. Social Security started during the Great Depression in the 1930s. Back then, old-age Americans only had two options to retire: pension or extended family. Only 15% of Americans during the 30s were eligible for pension because most companies did not provide it. The other 85% depended upon extended family for care and support. During the industrial age, family environment changed. Families moved across the country for work, and the older age Americans were left on their own during retirement and forced to work until they no longer could. President Franklin Roosevelt, seeing the plights of the old age Americans, signed into law in 1935 the Social Security Act. And it was a system of federal old age benefits to protect the old age. The Social Security Act was set up as a pay-as-you-go system. The pay-as-you-go system was an ingenious system. It was designed to enable the fund to completely support itself and never need government funding. To explain the pay-as-you-go system, you're going to see some Monopoly money on the table and a box in the front of you. The box represents the that's empty, the Social Security Fund. The left side of the room is going to represent the workforce of America, and the right side of the room represents the retirees. So what happens is the left side of the workforce of America pays into the Social Security Fund. So if everybody on the left side of the room could please put their dollar into the tub. Okay. Now the right side of the room is the retirees. They draw from the Social Security Fund. If we have more people, only 3 of you take out of the fund. Everybody took $1 out of the fund.
There we go.
All right.
You put it in.
No, leave 1 though. Just 3. Okay.
Okay. So 1 stays in there?
Yep, 1 stays in there.
Sorry, Nick.
Okay. So, this $1 that you see left in here, this is the Social Security surplus. The surplus is very important. The surplus handles all the unexpected things that happen in American society regarding Social Security. For instance, there an increase in retirees that's coming up, such as the baby boomer generation is approaching retirement age. The surplus also handles a decrease in the workforce, the high unemployment the country's facing right now. The surplus also takes care of survivor benefits when a child loses a parent and they need Social Security benefits, and it also handles Social Security disability. It's very important. However, the surplus is missing. It's not there anymore. Congress has taken the surplus to use for their own behalf. So what they do is Congress takes out the surplus and they leave in exchange an IOU in the form of a treasury bond. Sorry, hang on a second. Now, the treasury bonds are expected to be paid between 2018 and 2020. This is never going to happen because the treasury bonds, there's $2.5 trillion in outstanding treasury bonds. And if Congress decides to pay this $2.5 trillion in Treasury bonds back to Social Security, it will bankrupt the country. So Congress is going to have to come up with an alternative plan. I'm sure you've heard the saying, history repeats itself. Well, this is not the first time that Congress, that Social Security Fund has been in a crisis. In 1972, the Social Security Fund also was suffering from shortfalls, and it was expected to be exhausted in 1979. Congress' solution to that problem back then, in the 70s, was to increase the national retirement age and to increase Social Security tax. This was only a temporary fix because, again, we had the problem. So the government is benefiting when it comes to a crisis because they don't have to actually fix the problem. They instill fear in the country panics, and they just want a solution, any solution. It doesn't matter what the solution is as long as the crisis is solved. So how did this happen? How did Congress get the ability to take all the money out of the Social Security Fund? Well, when the Social Security Act was originally written, the writers never included any laws or guidelines in it to protect it from use. So this opened the door up for Congress to use it for any program they saw fit. Now, in 2005, Al Gore proposed a lockbox concept, which was the concept to lock out Congress from being able to use the Social Security Fund. This bill never made it to law because because Congress's petty cash fund is the Social Security Fund. Any program they see fit, they want to use it for. So the bill was killed, and Congress continues to rob the Social Security Fund because the fund lays unprotected. Many companies today no longer have pensions or have cut their pensions. Similar to the 1930s, younger generations are facing retirement with no pension and no Social Security. And they're going to be dependent on an extended family when they retire. Congress passed solutions included increased retirement age. If the solution is what they use again, you will not be able to retire at a reasonable age any longer. Today's current retirement age is 67, depending on what year when you were born. In 10 years from now, it may be 70 or more. I urge you to think about your retirement. Enroll in a 401k with your company or your startup an IRA. There are two guarantees in life, death and paying taxes. Social Security is not a guarantee. The baby boomer generation and current retirees will more than likely receive Social Security. Younger generations should worry. There's a very good possibility that they will not have Social Security, and they need to think about their retirement now. Thank you.